Welcome everyone to this month's pickup. I stopped at my parents and looked for more treasures in the basement and brought not only some regular memory but more 486. These ones have actually glued heatsinks that are next to impossible to get off. Some Pentium MMX, I think. Maybe also with glued heatsink. The problem of this is of course that you can't look up exactly what it is. Although I think this is a Pentium MX. This 486 you can only plug in and hope for the best. I found slightly similar looking numbers on some CPU museum site. I can currently only guess that this is another 486DX2, 66 maybe. And what was that? Alright, more AMD, Athlon and K6 just in case we burn one of these or one stock. Some better PCI cards. This is some dual head Matrox G450 or so, G45 Plus MDH A160, and also another SCSI card just to have some random stock. Also found some DVI to VGA adapters that I otherwise don't really have, so also always nice to have dongles and adapters. And last but not least, a nice tiny 386DX40 motherboard. This probably also came from some recycling pile because we didn't have this. And as I mentioned in one of the very early videos, for this you would need an IDE interface card there. And here also my father or someone clipped off the battery already. I hope the traces are still enough there to work. Let's quickly plug in power and see if it does something. Okay, the keyboard lights blink up. Oh, we have post, I guess. Yes, we have signal. Was not really sure if that corroded battery really will still work. Of course, battery is low, but keyboard does not work, so I guess that could indicate that, by the way, all these modules are only 4 MB. Given that the keyboard doesn't work, I guess this means these traces are corroded away there, at least for the keyboard, but at least everything else still works, unless the other board where I'm soldering around that does not yet come up again. I hope it's at least a little bit visible that the usual traces there at the battery are mostly oxidated away. Of course the keyboard doesn't work, so let's quickly check the clock and data signals. I believe they are there at this bridges with ferrite pearls, and from there they go here over to the connector. However, the connector is hiding the traces here, so I can't be 100% sure. So let's quickly check this. I wonder, should we have ground maybe? Maybe we should have ground here. Actually, we can also start with one channel. One channel, I don't need to hold so much stuff. So let's power up. Maybe we should have a test signal there. Just at a quick test, that the scopes works and everything. This is the first address bit on the ISA bus, but we're not getting here something on the what I think should be the clock here. Where did I even put the solder? So pin 1 and 2 are clock and data. Pin 1 should be this one. Pin 2, they're a little bit strangely numbered. So, and as I said, maybe it was not so seeable before. I think from the gun trace it looks like they should be here on this diode. Actually, we solder this on that side, so that should be these 2 points here. this trace is gone. That went up here. And then I guess over there on the other side, and this one went up there. Does not like to stay so much on this gun traces, so actually had I known that I soldered this on the bottom side I would have made them shorter. I was thinking to solder them on the top side. It does not really want to stick on this gun trace, and let's solder this to the top side here. The test anyway. I do not yet know which is clock and data, so I could guess. Fell off already, so this oxidated metal definitely does not want to solder. Let's try the other side for a test. Fortunately, somehow it's not that easy. Back to the drawing board and continue with other things. Hey, this works after all, and I can also be such a dumbass. I mixed here the pin 1. I mean, first of all, this is really stupidly numbered, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 something. And I mixed the female versus male, and sorry for the lighting. I thought I moved the test and film table to a better location, but this is not better. I guess time to move the office again. So let's start this once more. And of course it still says CMOS, but the keyboard works, as you can see. Although it said keyboard error, I'm not really sure why that. So then we finally fixed the board for a change. Maybe I see if I have an IDE interface code and if we can boot our regular test stuff. Okay, but this or not. Or maybe I get the other probes, and maybe while we are at it, capture the clock and data lines just for the documentation and fun of it. And then let's power this up. Press auto. Get nothing. So here we got it. This probably also explains. Let's move. This is probably channel 2. Yeah. This also explains why we couldn't measure something, because the clock is only clocked probably from the keyboard when there is data transmitted. This is also why I probably couldn't measure anything if there's nothing. Let's restart it. So they are plus 5 volts or something. Pulled up. And should the PC send some reset data word? Anyway, so this is probably why you can't measure there's something useful, in case you want to probe the lines and needs then a working keyboard attached. But yeah, this is how it works. Let's yeah, here's one captured. So this is how it looks. Idle without data, it's plus 5 volt, and then it's like inverted, pulled down for the clock and data. So clock is here below. We can also move it on top of each other if that. And we can even invert it to make it look nice. So that is inverted, channel 2 inverted, and then it looks more like positive signals you would see in a textbook. Why is this not moving now? Oh, maybe need to. Oh, it should move. Why does it? Strange. It's the usual awesome UI of this stuff, but here, so like this, you see it nicely. Yeah, so 000011110 or inverted, just for you to see signals in the wild. I hope you found it interesting and learned something, and I get an I/O controller and also quickly test this 486s. So that took a while to find, although I was sure I had one of those old-fashioned cards in stock. Took quite a while to find. Nearly already wanted to give up, so this is off. Maybe we plug in here this IDE flash thing. I hope that works. Pin 1 is there. guess this one's power. So let's try to put here something. Heads 50, 63 and 1030. Can I put this? So I guess some size limitation, huh? Apparently 255 sectors is the maximum here. So this will probably not boot, but let's see what happens. Maybe I already put here a floppy in case I connect that. Alright, CMOS, does that even work without a battery? So finally I got something loaded. PTS does. Let's see if we can repeat this. Because somehow it's not yet booting the most very reliable. Also this keyboard error. No idea why that is there, if that is because of the empty battery. Because somehow it's getting sometimes stuck at this BIOS thing, whatever. Maybe it's related to this stupid either I/O controller or the battery. Really strange though. Yeah, the fun of vintage stuff, and again also why I make this video is not that some other YouTubers inspire you to go buy vintage stuff at eBay and then you sit here disappointed that your expensive vintage stuff doesn't work. This, by the way, is a DOS that probably most of you don't know. This is PTS DOS, some DOS from Russia that was said to be written entirely in assembler due to that faster and such. So in retrospect I wonder how much of this is true, because MS-DOS also looked like written mostly in assembly. So maybe not the latest versions anymore, but whatever. As you can see, this is some officially licensed version from Perl. No idea what I paid for this, maybe some 29 Deutschmark or 19 Deutschmark or whatever it was. Oh, now it's doing something. Yeah, as you see, it works when it works, but often it's hanging, so whatever that is. As so often, unfortunately, in German, I wonder if it can be... Oh, menu not found, that starts well, does it? Yeah, somewhere from around 1995. And given this BIOS limitation, I wonder if we can use a hard drive as large as 512 megabyte, because as you have seen I can't put a CHS cylinder head sector number large enough for 512 megabytes. So but there were also this DOS expander BIOS mapping something things to work around these limitations. But it's something for another day. Look at this, this auto-detect detected something, so this detected this as 993 16 heads and 63 sectors, 489 megabyte. Let's see if that boots and does something. Also, it appears to keep the date and settings, at least for some minutes so far. And also, you probably can plug in an external battery to this battery pins or solder a new one there, but I want to plug it in there today. I first need to measure the polarity or not to destroy there something even more. Why does it have hard drive none? Did we not save this? But surprisingly it rebooted on the first try. Didn't usually do that before. I thought we saved it, apparently not. Let's auto detect again. So I said yes here. And yes here. It wasn't it? Here it is here. Did I not write things and exit? I, by the way, wonder how many people would watch a live stream of a 386 compiling Linux kernel for a year or so. At least people could use it to come together and chat in the YouTube chat. Interesting, looks like this IDE flash really works. At least it's saying starting MS-DOS. If something more happens, I hope, maybe. But maybe something does not yet work reliably after all. No, it accidentally booted MS-DOS. But maybe there still really is something wrong with this keyboard controller thing, because... Or it's just the Silicon Graphics keyboard. Because the lamps are behaving strangely here. If I press non-lock, all are blinking, also caps lock, so maybe there is really something wrong after all with this wiring there. 65 ticks is not too bad for a 386. So this is jumping here between two systems. Score 74. It's also not too bad. Video memory is this. Was this not significantly more for this 486 the other day? Maybe this is running the ISA bus way faster. And a score of 13, which I think was quite good for a 386. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Getting a little bit long playing with this 386. I guess I have to still test the 486 another day. Nice to see that this board works more than less. Lit up good. Also worth noting is this were only 4 MB of RAM. I took out all but 2 and this would not start or post anymore, and I put in 2 and we have 4 MB, so this other 2 MB apparently were not functional, I guess. Maybe someone already took something out, or quickly check if I have 8 matching or so to at least have 8 MB of memory again. Let's try this Samsung and Gold Star. So the first 4 MB, it's a Gold Star. I think this chipset is relatively new, this RLE. Unfortunately I can't find a spec for that. No, we don't have more, we only have 4 MB. Oh, there's one not perfectly in. Sockets feel a little bit strange. We are still testing around. Let's plug in the Cyrix Fast Math coprocessor that we took out from the other board the other day. I think it goes in. There should be the 0-pin marking. Switch the keyboard. This one is also PS2 and SGI. Still we have the same in regards to the numlock key there, so if someone has a tip for that, let me know. Is this 40 MHz CPU probe new? Because I just changed some BIOS DRAM timings to auto. slightly faster. Matching some other DX40 instead of my saved other 386. And the Cyrix fast mask, of course, working. So that is a nice little system. The only thing is, of course, reliable booting, and then even detects this as Cyrix. How does it detect Cyrix? I would have a maxed out 386 and the other 4 386 board, where I can leave the 486 in without always hitting it out of the not zero insertion force socket. So it's quite neat. I think the other 386 had more like 76. I think this LI chipset is a little bit more modern. Hey, it booted the second time in a row. Let's test it another time. Maybe this DRAM setting really helped then. Neat, if that works now.